Hi, my name's Jaxel. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be a comparison between the Kinotone Sparks and the Chasebliss Clean, because as I've spent more and more time with each of these pedals, I realize that they do have a lot of similarities and a lot of overlap, but I think that they approach these similarities from a very different angle, and I think it's worth taking a look at and seeing what one you gravitate towards the most. So after you watch these comparisons, let me know in the comments which pedal you like the best. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so basically how this comparison is going to work and how I've decided to kind of approach this is the Kinotone Sparks comes with 6 factory presets. So if you buy this pedal, you get these presets that come with it. And I think they do a really good job of being an example of what the Sparks is capable of, and obviously I think that's what the company wanted out of the presets, is for you to kind of see the different capabilities. So all of the presets do pertain to the guitar part of the Sparks. If you want to know more about the Sparks or the Clean, I have a separate video on both pedals, but the Sparks does some cool stuff with MIDI synth. But we're only going to look at the guitar stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the preset on the Sparks, and then I'm going to try and replicate it on the Clean the best I can. And you can let me know how I did and what one you like the vibe of the most. So just getting started with the signal chain, it's going from my Fender Strat through the pedal board. The Sparks and the Clean are both being run in mono in this experiment, but it's being run through the rest of my board out into my Strymon Iridium and then out to the recording interface. So here is the first preset on the Sparks. So in order for you to get to preset mode, you hold down the bypass switch, turn on the presets, and then the bypass switch filters through the different presets. So we'll start with this blue preset, which is the overdrive tone that you heard on the intro track. The reverb throughout this video will be the hologram chroma console reverb, and that adds some stereo field as well to these two pedals that are run in mono before the chroma console. So here's that overdrive with reverb. So you'll notice with this overdrive that it's got kind of like a limiting factor to it. That's not anything in my DAW, that is the Sparks cutting off the tone if it gets too quiet. And it gets a little sputtery too, which I like if you're... So there is the Sparks. So now I'm going to turn the preset off. So here's the clean tone. And this is with, on the clean, the dusty switch is on. And this is what the clean offers in that overdrive. Here's without it. So I actually find that to be a really nice overdrive. I'm not sure. And all the settings are as you see them on the front here. And I find it to be really playable. And with, but a different approach from both and kind of how they're achieving what they're offering. So let's move along to the next preset in the Sparks. Okay, so here was the overdrive. And here's our next sound. So I'll just call that a unique tremolo, perhaps. So let's turn the Sparks off. Back to clean tone. And of course, the dusty switch is turned off again. And for this, I'm going to turn the mode on the clean to the right. Okay, so I'm just trying to match the speed here. Okay. So I think that's a pretty close, but again, I think these pedals approach things from a different angle, and maybe it's just me approaching things from a different angle as well. But let's move on to the next preset. So this one sounds like a Qtron to me. It's kind of getting into that territory, and so I'm gonna try and recreate something along these lines with the clean. And if you do want to watch my clean tutorial or kind of walk through what I like about the clean video, I do spend quite a bit of time on this sound, and I really like it. So I have it on good memory, kind of where to set this. Okay, so basically what's going on in the clean here, just so you know how it's approaching the sound, is I have a heavily compressed signal, and it's going, this is the EQ, so it's going from a low EQ, and it's going, depending on how hard I pick, it goes to full frequency on the EQ knob, but again, it starts at basically all low frequency, low pass frequency. So again, it's interesting because I like the fact that this Qtron sound has like a swell in factor, and it doesn't have that classic Qtron quackiness at the end, which I think makes it really usable for just writing ambient music and that kind of stuff, because it doesn't have a little bit of that harshness at the end. But that is kind of what I like about the Sparks take on this Qtron sound, is that it has that ability to get that summery Qtron John Mayer vibe to it. So again, let me know which one you liked better. Let's hit the next preset here. Okay, now this reminds me, I live out in Canada, and I was shoveling off my car, and because there was so much snow and ice on it, and by accident I completely knocked off my radio antenna, and I like listening to the radio. And so basically any radio stations that are not like in my actual vicinity, I cannot receive anymore, and the ones that are out of my vicinity kind of sound like this. Here's with a bit of reverb. Okay, cool. So let's see what we can do on the clean. Okay, so we'll go back to the middle on the clean. And for this one, actually, I'm going to use the physics toggle to the right. Okay, here's something. So I wanted to intentionally go actually a little bit more subtle on the clean, because that's it. It does that better. So this is like if the radio station's like kind of close, but not super close, maybe. Okay, this is really subtle, and I like that about it. Okay, I think it sounds really good. But not using the physics knob, if we go to the toggle here, and we go semi-dark on the EQ, and then we get really close with the, or really fast with the rotation, it gets a little closer to that jittery. So I wanted to show you two options here. There's a more subtle one with the physics, and there's a more jittery one with the attack here. Cool. All right, let's check out the next preset here. So I'll turn that on, hold it down. Here we go. Okay, so we've done blue, that, red, jittery. Let's see what we got. So we got kind of a dynamic tremolo here that reacts to your picking. So here's kind of light picking, and here's a fast strum. Here's without reverb, just so you can hear it. Okay, and here's reverb back on. And I'm going to see what we can get on the clean here. And again, other people might approach matching these sounds on the clean differently. This is just kind of what first comes to my mind. So if we go to the physics, kind of like we were last time, but I'm going to highlight the more intense side here. Just without reverb here. Okay, so this one is interesting, but it's a little harder to hear, but it is pick dynamic here, the physics knob, so it almost acts like a dynamic tremolo style, so... Okay, kind of cool. Okay, cool. I do really like that. It's, again, maybe a bit more subtle, but really cool. Okay, so... Okay, so this one's interesting. And I think probably this one's stumping me a little bit on the clean here, but probably I could just recreate it by kind of doing... So the Sparks does that sound automatically. It kind of goes, you strum once and it fades in and out in that really cool sound. But the clean can kind of fade in and you can hit that sound a few times. I don't think the clean doesn't quite get there to what my brain is remembering. But again, I think that I recreated that all right. So, okay, I gave it the old college try on that last one. But ultimately, um, the Sparks approaches these sounds, in my opinion, it's called it it has harmonic in the name, and it comes at it from an overdrive distortion kind of perspective. I would say like that's the main thing behind it, but it's got all of these amazing, like it does so much. Calling it an overdrive is the understatement of the century. And the same is true for the clean when it comes to compressing, but it does approach things from a compressor standpoint. So I think that adds to a really neat dynamic between these two pedals. But again, let me know what one works best for you and what one you want to add to your pedal board next. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.